you to the Avalanche for an overtime win last night, 3-2. Nathan MacKinnon did that about a minute into the overtime, so congrats to them for getting a big win at home. That was nice to see, especially without the captain, Gabe Landeskog, out there. The Nuggets back in action tonight against the Bulls, and the Avs will be back in action on Friday. Guys, let's talk Broncos here for a minute. When you get a team across any sport, frankly, not just the NFL, but any team that is out of the playoffs, things aren't going right, this is the opportunity that you see organizations and coaches start to play different guys. If it's basketball, sometimes you work on different rotations, things like that, just to see what you have going forward. But with the Broncos, the one guy you would like to see that out of has a high ankle sprain in Paxton Lynch and can't play. So what are we looking for, Shawn, here over these next couple of weeks that's going to give us an indication going forward?
Well, I still think you're looking at some of the younger players that they can get into the game. You hope that Paxton Lynch can play a little bit, but if not, some of the players they need to look at. Bradley Roby has an opportunity this week with Aqib Talib's suspension. It sounds ridiculous, but he's had a bad year. And if the Broncos want to move away from Aqib Talib, they need to make sure they have an adequate replacement. So Bradley Roby, for me, I want to see a lot about from him. I also would like to see a little bit from D'Angelo Henderson. Look, C.J. Anderson's not going to be back. Jamal Charles should probably be just released right now and let him land with a contender. So I think when you're looking at Booker and maybe Henderson on the way in, those are the guys I'd like to see in lieu of Lynch, who everybody hopes to get on the field before the season ends.
Yeah, I think there's also a hope that you can maybe evaluate Isaiah McKenzie. You mentioned D'Angelo Henderson. I know McKenzie had some really bad drops on special teams, but we saw him run a lot of wide receiver routes and things like that on the offense during training camp. So I'd like to see what he offers on offense a little bit, just as kind of a scat back personnel. But then also too, you've got guys who've been on the team. Connor McGovern, I'd like to see a little bit out of him. You want to see DeMarcus Walker on the defensive line. So in the trenches, you have a lot of evaluation to do as well.
I think it helps you know what your depth is going to look like next year, or whether or not you've got somebody who might be able to emerge as a starter, because that is what helps you determine where you're going in the draft and even where you go in free agency. So those are some of the names we're going to be looking for. A Football Friday with you tomorrow morning on the show, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Also, Kyle Kinane, comedian, will be at Comedy Works this weekend. Will be in studio with us about 8:30 tomorrow morning. So we invite you to tune in, be a part of that, because, hey, after the way that things have been going with the Broncos, we could all use a laugh, right? We'll talk to you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. For TJ, for Shawn, I'm Nate. We'll see you.